Podcast. Our great friend Allan has come back and joined us. Josh and I are here. I am tired.
Sorry.
I've been up since 6. Fuck you.
I've been up since 5, so fuck you.
I've been up since 9.
Fuck.
Out of everyone here, everyone agrees Josh is the worst of us all.
How to wake up at 9 a.m.
I mean, to be fair, Josh right now is fighting a war where he sits there and says that Sans is actually a Smash character now.
This is the only way he's ever going to get in is a costume, and I think that counts.
Oh, you be talking about Sans?
Yes, Sans.
Yes.
Sans. I'm not even mad.
Now,
I won't lie. I'm not even mad. I'm happy.
Now, as somebody who wants to do a genocidal run in Undertale and murder everything, I can tell you how little of a shit I care. I don't care. I think that this is really stupid.
I think it's great that he's even freaking registered in there.
I'm getting a hard laugh out of it because, like, legit, I think my favorite thing was the fact that it ended, like, somebody back in December was like, if fucking Sans get in the game, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. It's not going to happen. And then it just, like, went after the video came out. It showed that he got confirmed. And it was really funny. It was just like, fuck. And it's just like, he's so mad that that's true. But at the same time, like, I love it because I'm like, it's not even the worst fucking one they could have done.
Well, they should have just put Doom Guy in the game, and then
we could get Doom Guy. Like, legit. The moment Sans became a thing, I was like, the doors are open.
Anything's possibility.
And, like, it was Banjo-Kazooie that could have been last time, but it was like, man.
Although I'm also very happy Terry Bogard got even in.
Yeah, Terry Bogard got in. Everyone's excited about that. I'm kind of more excited about that.
You know, I actually found a list on Twitter of, like, you know, SNK seemed to be the biggest winners out of anyone for the past year. They were listing all the, like, the special guest characters for other fighting games that they showed up in. And I'm like, oh, shit. They actually had, like, 6 or 7, like, different characters for different fighting games that showed up as special guest characters. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome. They're doing awesome things that, like, I think a lot of companies should do with their licensing is just lend it to other people that you think are, like, going to be real good with the fucking license. You'd be like, what was it? They lent out, I wish I could find that tweet, but lent out Samurai Showdown guy with the samurai sword to Soul Calibur. Then they lent out Terry to Smash. Then
they also lended out Guile to, or is it? I don't know.
No, that's Geese for Tekken.
Yeah.
And there was like 2 more of them, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm like, man, this is a company feels like they know what they're doing.
It's weird.
Before they're like, oh, we only care about pachinko machines, and now they're like, all right, we love video games, guys, let's do this. It's like, no, because the law has changed super hard.
Yeah.
You want to know the funny thing about that is, like, so Konami's now, like, doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just law changed again. And then, like, some other company comes out of the woodwork and go, guys, we just love video games as much as you do. And it's like, you're a pachinko manufacturer or something? Oh, no. Sweat profusely coming off of their foreheads.
Ready?
Frick.
The only problem that I have with it is that Konami owes who is it? Who is the bastard who made Metal Gear? They should give him back the license for Metal Gear.
God, there was such a bitterness towards each other. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
That won't ever happen. Considering the way that fucking that went down, that's
Like again, and from what I've understood from from the past and from Japanese people of holding grudges, they hold the grudges the longest and the hardest.
kind of.
Like if there was one thing, what was it? Oh, when Cloud got into Smash, they could have had a slew of music to go with Cloud, but only had one track, or maybe two. No, I think it was one. And it's like you could have had like a fuck ton of music, but decided to just go with one track. And it's like they could have with more music, but whatever.
Oh yeah, no, like again, as I said, I'm not even mad that Sans is in the game. And like I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo started talking with like Microsoft and like
I would say
like,
it wasn't there a rumor they oh no, that was probably for like Banjo or something, that they're like Nintendo's talking with Microsoft. And it's like that was crazy, and it's like that's probably when they're talking to like, hey, we want to add Banjo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my cat isn't.
I
There might be some noise.
So anyway, Terry Bogard in Smash. I'm happy.
They
And,
also announced more Switch Online stuff.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was for like, was it Switch Online downloadable stuff?
yeah, it's kind of like stuff. It's stuff where you can download the games, classic games, which is like, okay, fine, whatever. That's not changing like what Switch Online is.
Yeah, I'm. It's gonna be weird. I don't know. Like, again, I haven't played Switch yet, so like, I now have plans to pick up a Switch because I have 2 games I want to get now. So,
Buy a Switch Lite.
I don't think I'm gonna Switch Lite. I'm gonna get a regular Switch because.
The reason why I'm recommending a Switch Lite,
Why?
because it's a really good 3DS console, and you might like it.
Okay. That isn't.
It's not really selling
Yeah.
it. Because I'm like, 3DS, I have one. That's a good 3DS console. I'm like, improved graphics on one big screen, that's one thing. But here's another thing I don't like about that console. The goddamn controller and how the freaking the thumbsticks are. Like, I just hate it. I really hate it. I really don't like how the thumbsticks are, especially on the right hand.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I haven't again, like I said, I haven't actually sat down. Well, no, I've used it a couple times, and I don't have a problem with it. I just think that the independent controller, where like the thing that you buy to just add in for like swapping and stuff like that, where you can you make a little handheld controller like a traditional controller, with is so much more value now. I would actually even argue like that is a must buy for napkins. Yeah.
What?
The
Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, for the Nintendo Switch, like you know how like you can get additional attachments for your controllers and stuff like that for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that makes it basically like just a little handheld.
Oh. Yeah. That comes with it. You're talking about like the Joy-Con grip?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that comes with it. So it's already in the box.
Yeah.
But the thing that like I do think like so I got a screen protector and I'm thankful because recently I noticed a small chip in my Switch from when I threw it against something.
It doesn't break.
And it didn't break. Made me happy.
I will get one if I had money.
I plan to buy one here before Christmas, before Pokemon comes out. But that's going to be a bit of a iffy thing because I start school this week. I think you started work this week too, didn't you?
I started school this week and it was great. I totally did not cry 4 times.
Rough
and
week?
This week, no. Let me explain to you why it's kind of sucky. So, the first day, my sleep schedule is basically fucked because
you need to fix that. I've been telling you this for like a month and a half.
You have, but you know what? You're wrong. I don't need to fix anything. I just need to continue down the path, and the path will solve the problems, right?
Will they, though?
No, they won't. So, my sleep schedule is going to adjust itself over time. It has to. Basically, if it doesn't, then I'm going to be sad.
That is
but basically
fair.
But yeah. So basically, what ended up happening was recently, I found out that most of my schedule is really good. I don't have to wake up at 8 anytime. Most of the time, I can get up at 8, show up at class, and usually be there on time.
Yeah.
I'm only doing 4 classes this year because last year was great with 6. Last semester was so great. So this is a lot less. It's a lot lighter course load. It's going to be easier for me to deal with.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry as much. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be fine. And basically what ended up happening this week was ended up staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning just running VMs. Now I'm super burnt out. I don't want to do VM work at all. I got almost... So me and Josh is on mine and Josh's game. I got that basically done. I have opened up my game, the game that I'm working on by myself.
Yeah.
Once, and I maybe did about 5 seconds worth of work on it, and then I went back to playing Smash. I think my laptop's fucking dying finally.
Finally. It's dying.
Final.
Put a nail through it now. Finally.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
And it could come at a worse time.
It's kind of sucking. It kind of sucks because like right now it's just like, oh, like it's fine. Everything's fine. And it's like it's good to catch up with people that like I haven't talked to in a while. Like Kirby, I haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah.
I talked to El Presidente. Funny thing is that like they're like Shadow President was like telling them that like, oh, we should knight one of them to be an executive for the club. Me and Epic Fanboy, who when he hears this is gonna probably nod his head and go, "Why are you calling me Epic Fanboy?" When I really should just call him Epic Communist Fanboy. But like it was really good catching up with people and stuff like that. I drove somebody to Memory Express and got them the same drive I have.
Yep.
So, you know, it's been fun. But like it's like, oh, like this is my life for the next 8 months. No breaks in between.
Yeah.
I need the drugs. I need the drugs. Not the hard drugs, the drugs where it's like, oh,
it's legal in Canada.
Yeah. If somebody wants to give me magic mushrooms, I will totally do them.
Although that kind of makes your stomach bleed if you take too much.
Magic mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. It's probably because it's a toxin.
Yeah.
It's a full body tone too.
That might be the reason why you get such a high out of it. Oh no, it's funny. Oh, and I got called transphobic today because I shared the picture that's in general chat.
Huh? Oh, the gender thing. Yeah.
It's something that really annoys me because it's like, man, I didn't think the left was the right and ignoring basic science, but apparently they are.
I mean,
and apparently because I sit there and I say that like I don't care about what gender you identify as long as you respect me, I will call you whatever the fuck you want. Apparently that's transphobic. Who knew?
Yep, pretty much.
Well, okay, I want to dive deeper in this topic and stuff like that.
Or I don't think we should. I think you're too tired to really like fully contemplate.
I'm gonna be as kind and I'm gonna be as nice as I can be. Do unto others as you do unto yourself. Do not be an asshole. And if you are going to be an asshole, don't be surprised when I take the argument 20 steps way too far and start using words that you don't like. Period. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're gonna sit there and call somebody something, make it sting a little bit more because I've been called that like 2,000 times. It doesn't really hurt me. But in other good news, Tool released a new album. It's pretty good.
Oh, really?
It's pretty good. I like it. I never listened to Tool before. But I like Tool now. Tool's a very good band. It's not speed metal, and it's just very unique. It's just kind of slow.
Yeah. It's
And
very pot metal.
Yeah. It's something that you can listen to while high.
Exactly.
Pot metal. That is...
Yeah.
That is a
the new genre.
It's a new genre.
That's a way to describe it. I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty impressive way to describe that.
Look, I'm going to say this. You can't not listen to Sabaton while fucking high.
No. Well, you could. I don't recommend it.
It wouldn't be good.
No,
it would not.
You get war flashbacks, and you'd be like, I've never been to a war, but you still get them anyways.
Yeah, but you still get the flashbacks, because you're like, the fuck?
Yeah. So this is important because Tool is on pace to have the #1 album in the U.S., and Taylor Swift fans are pissed. This is important. This is important because I know we're going to talk about a heady topic later on this show, which is going to be great.
Freaking just...
Yeah.
Too funny. You know, the funny thing is I also listened to the Tool album, and I listened to the new one, and I go, it's okay. It's definitely not my cup of tea, but it's okay. And then I was listening on Spotify, and I was like, hey, what's their like top 5 on Spotify? Because usually there's always like a top 5 most people like to listen to. So I go through the top 5, and I'm like, oh, it's these songs I heard on the radio a trillion times. Like, literally a trillion times. Like, whenever I don't have audio jack for some reason, and for whatever dumb reason, I decided to actually listen to radio, these songs are fucking on. So I'm like, oh, so the radio has tainted me to where I hear it, I ignore it, and I pretend it doesn't exist. So I'm like, oh no. Oh, I don't love them I don't love them. I just wish they're gone.
You don't like Tool?
No, here's the thing. When I was looking up psychedelic metal, I was listening to a little bit of Tool. I was like, they're okay. But then I saw another band called Monkey 3. And I was like, oh, let me listen to them. And I'm like, oh, fuck, these are like way better. Although I would argue that they're like a more power metal-y, more just like prog rocky, just more like, like symphonic bullshit going on.
Yeah.
Where Tool, I would say, is more of like 70s, 80s psychedelic metal, which is like, that's probably where my definitive line of like what type of metal I want. I was like, no, I want more futuristic and like weird fantasy bullshit, where 70s and 80s is like, I'm high on shit and I'm going to play this guitar really slow. And I'm like, that's not what I want. I want you to talk about dragons. Can you do that? No? Shit.
I'm trying to think of the band that would be good for that. Rhapsody of Fire. Fire Rhapsody or something. Yeah. They're a good band because like they're like I could legit like you could look up fantasy bands. Like there's a band that I linked a while back where they did their metal cover of Diggity Hole. And they have other songs and they're all about like dwarves and stuff like that. And I'm like, fuck, I just found my band. There's also Starhammer, I think. Hammer Force. Maybe.
I think I
Which has
listened to some Hammer Force.
Yeah. There's one called Starkill.
Yeah. We got shown that one. I listened to it finally, and I enjoy them. I'm just trying to think.
They're pretty
good. There's a song where like one other song is called The Host, and like legit, me and my buddy sat down and we listened to like 5 or 6 other songs, and we're like, it's really good music. What the fuck is a host force? And we're like, that was our entire question about them. What the fuck is a host force? And like we loved the music. Like we actually genuinely enjoyed the music. We were like, no, like we're probably gonna start listening regularly. But like at the same time, we're like, what the fuck is a host force?
Oh, Allan, I also got another personal.
Or how do you spell it?
HOOTFORC.
Okay.
Guys.
Host force.
Hey guys.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey. So I got another personal update, and I forgot to tell you this. So I blew a tranny this weekend.
Like you blew the transmission of your car?
Or the person that it's a tranny that you blew?
No, he means the transmission of his car because Jeff is not.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Jeff can't pull a fast one on me. I legit work around a guy who is a mechanic, and I literally heard the same thing, and I looked at him straight in the face. I was like, so how bad is the damage to the transmission? Because I'm so used to people talking about it, and I know Jeff is into cars and into computers. I don't see him blowing a transgender man. I like legit.
Not unless I say no homo, bro.
No. Like if Jeff came on podcast and straight-laced seriously said, I actually just did this, I'd be like, fucking video. I don't believe it. I would expect video evidence. I'm like, it is the fallacy of if it is not seen, it does not exist. That is the fallacy I'm using right now. I don't care though. You'd have to provide evidence for that one.
It's funny because Allan, you're right, and I said that at Nate, and people like got really upset. They were like looking at me like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, blue transmission. There was fluid all over the place. It was very terrible.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've been doing at Nate is I've also been showing people a picture of a blue orange.
Blue orange?
Oh, that stupid thing that you posted before?
Yeah. And I'm like, huh, it's orange. Like, and then I show it to people and they're like, but it's blue. I'm like, but it's orange.
God damn it.
Like,
okay, I get what you're doing now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fucking with people.
Fucking cunt.
I am.
Making so many friends.
I don't need friends. I have to tell people how to do their fucking jobs. Allan, how was your week?
It was good. My first few days of classes were interesting. I'm looking forward to next week, which is my last week of work. Because I've already got assignments due at the end of the month, and I was like, oh boy, I actually should probably like focus on classes instead of like trying to make money. But I'm gonna be working extra hard. I got a few interesting history teachers. All of them are like, we don't like Trump, and I was like, okay. And in one of my classes, I've got an interesting fellow who, like, we're talking about the course of the last 200 years in Europe. And I was like, okay, I want to see how this is going to go. Find out how this goes. And I've already heard the rise of fascism, stepping onto land and stealing people off land, the idea of race realism coming to be, all from one person in the room. And I'm just like, oh my God, he's going to be the most constant problem in this room. And I'm hoping to the gods above that legit I'm hoping that he's not like a super talkative person in the class. Because like the first day with him, he was like he corrected the teacher several times, and I was like, "You are not here to correct the teacher. You are here to learn. Shut the fuck up." So yeah.
Mm. Those people are always the best, right?
Yep. But I will have to. But I'm looking forward to doing my English class, which also has a guy who called the orange called the Donald Trump the mad tangerine in the office. And I'm like, I'm not even mad because he's using very flowery language. I'm only mad about one word that he used, and I was like, he called his little council around him fascist. And I'm like, that is blatantly untrue, and that could be considered defamation. Because you are in.
I mean,
no, because he is a
no.
he
Let
is
me
a
finish.
teacher, and that is the reason why it could be considered defamation.
Oh, you're talking about the teacher?
Yeah.
He called the teacher fascist?
No, the teacher the teacher called Donald Trump or Donald Trump's little cabal of
fascist.
people around him fascists, and I was like,
you're
skirting the line there, buddy. Because technically that could be defamation because you are doing it in a public way that is to a audience that is kind of required to be there for education. But that's beside the point. I'm really enjoying classes already.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that I think that if you're gonna call Donald Trump fascist, it's no more fascist than the Trudeau government.
Yeah.
Which is even worse.
Yep.
Let's be honest. So yeah. What else happened this week?
Nothing much.
We want to talk about the big one.
Depends. What do you want to talk about?
So ZQ.
ZQ.
The ZQ situation.
ZQ.
Oh, the Night in the Woods / Zoe Q.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh fuck.
I guess Depression Quest has now
real life DLC. Like fuck.
Yeah.
So Chris
this
Reagan.
is
This is the thing. This is the situation because technically up here in Canada, she can't actually be charged with causing his suicide.
Yeah. No, she did not. Directly.
No. That's the thing is because of her actions and her mob causing a mob to attack him, she can't actually be held as liable for his death.
No, it's the mob that killed him.
No, because she was the one who came up with the accusation, and the mob responded as that. As such, up here in Canada, she can actually be charged.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that she could be charged because she
sparked it.
Okay. No, that's fair. I think she should.
Because she knew, and that's the thing. It's apparent because again, apparently they were close back then. I don't know when. Because that's the thing is. Go ahead. I'm gonna.
No. Yeah, you are. No, I think that it's very difficult for me to talk about this, and I don't know what happened. I know the result. I know that he's no longer here.
Yeah.
I know that he's no longer breathing. I know he's in 6 feet in the ground. I know his sister doesn't want us talking about it. I know his sister doesn't want us attacking Zoe Quinn. And I'm not going to attack her directly. I'm not going to say that she did anything wrong, but she did do one thing wrong. And I think that that's fair to criticize her for.
Yeah.
And if she listens to the show, I hope she's understanding that this is coming from a place where, in my point of view, Twitter is not the court of law.
Yeah.
It has never been a good place for that kind of shit. But she used it as a tool, and all she had to sit there and say was, I recently, like, even if she had gone to the police 6 months earlier
Yeah.
and then just said, I made sure that he was okay before I did this, and then said, my abuser is this name. He doesn't have a Twitter account anymore. I made sure of it. I made
Yeah.
sure he was safe before I did revealed his name. I made sure that he was charged and safe before and being rehabilitated before I did this, and I forgive him, which just sounds like she did. She wanted him to get better. But
It's a complicated situation, and it's
yeah, and it's like
again, this is the reason why I find the Me Too movement to be this because again, Jeremy Soule got accused of has been Me Too, and I raise a extremely high eyebrow at that because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Jeremy's the quartering guy, right?
No, Jeremy Soule from Bethesda, the music.
Oh.
Yeah. The guy who's worked on Elder Scrolls, Fallout, a bunch of other Bethesda games, and a bunch of other games in general. And it's just like, this is like a really accomplished man. And it makes me raise my eyebrow. And again, because that seems to be a lot of what Me Too happened. Go after very affluent men who have earned their lot in life. And it just, I don't know. I guess it's just fucking shitty situation everywhere now.
But yeah, like my only thing that is like I just wish that she didn't like the only real anger I have is like she should have just immediately messaged the police.
Yeah.
And she did this just for money. Like everyone thinks she did this for money.
That's the thing is the moment this accusation came out, everyone around her immediately was like, "There's like a 95% chance that you're lying because we know you've lied in the past." And then the fact that he killed himself, everybody was holding her accountable, because and that's the thing is like, I personally can't say that she personally is accountable because he killed himself. It was his decision. Ultimately, in the end, even though he was mentally disturbed and causing problems. But it was her accusation and the response to that accusation that led to his death. It also destroyed the company that made Night in the Woods. Like,
yeah,
one of the creative heads of this company and of the one of the most beloved games of 2017 that game came out is now dead. Even though that game is a fantastic representation of down to earth, I'm having rough. This town is having a rough and hard time because unfortunately how the situation is in the world, and it's I don't know. I'm just no matter what you do in this situation, it's gonna be pretty fucked up.
I mean, everything about this has been fucked up. Because, quite frankly, it's one of those situations where no matter what side you take, you have to look at it with a grain of salt. And you have to always understand that, Me Too was never meant to actually be this thing that was like a weapon that people wielded.
Well, it set a precedent with its first case.
Yeah. And Harvey Weinstein was crazy.
Yeah. Oh no. The thing is, the Me Too movement started off with good. Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. But the way it went about it was the court of public opinion and the mob, and that is.
Yeah. It's the problem with cancel culture is once they sense blood in the water, they just go for it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I don't think that Zoe's going to get charged.
I don't think Zoe's going to get charged either. She's deleted her account. She's off the
internet.
internet.
She hasn't deleted her account.
I thought she did.
She deactivated it. She came back.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Very, very
if you honestly think that she wouldn't delete her account. If she's addicted to social media, dude, she's like she's like a dopamine addict. She just loves the attention.
Yeah, I guess.
A lot
But-
of those people love attention. And they'll do anything to get it. And it's kind of disgusting, but at the same time it's like, yeah, take a second and breathe, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do want to quickly mention something though. Other news on the Nintendo Direct front.
We've already talked about Nintendo Direct stuff.
Well,
Smash and stuff like that.
yeah, so Overwatch is coming to the Switch.
Whatever. Another
cares?
game.
Oh, look, another game that a lot of people aren't going to actually play because it's a 3-year-old game that's coming to a console that's not designed for it. Like,
Can't
at
wait.
all.
I just can't wait for all the slowdown, for all the shields are gonna happen.
I can't wait for the game balance to be utterly broken. Oh wait, that's just a standard.
That's I was gonna say, isn't that like?
I was like, yeah, I realized the moment I said it. I was
I'm like,
absolutely serious that moment, and then I remember what game we were talking about. I was like, fuck, I'm stupid.
It's the Marvel vs. Capcom of first-person shooters. It's broken all the time, but it's oddly balanced.
And then the other one was we also got I believe it is called Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. That's coming
Isn't
out
that
to
where you
Switch.
become a pop idol?
Yeah, it's Pop Idol Fire Emblem.
Oh,
I think I've seen that being played on a couple of YouTube channels, and I immediately have no interest because I'm like, I don't care about pop idols, and this game looks boring as all goddamn fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from a guy who plays this Gaia. Like, some people say that's boring. That game's boring.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not my cup of tea at all.
Yeah. And other than that, do we have any other topics, Josh? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Oh, there were some Pokemon announcements.
yeah.
Oh, I just quickly want to mention Gears 5. Play Gears 5. It's good.
I don't know if I'm going to play Gears 5.
Batista's in it.
I don't care.
Mhm.
Batista's in it.
I don't care.
I hope he does a Batista bomb to someone, anyone.
I personally I never really cared for the Gears franchise. Just it's a pass. It's a pass for me.
Okay. Pokemon news. There's a retarded bird.
It's a derpy bird. Get it correct. It's not
It's a retarded bird. It looks
No.
retarded.
It's a bird that's eating a fish. Always eating a fish.
Even when there's no fish around.
Even when there's no fish around, it's eating a fish. It's in the middle of a desert. It has a fish.
Yeah.
How did he get that fish? You don't ask questions. He just has it. I kind of wonder if it's like a weird symbiotic relationship, so it makes the fish live.
It's weird for the most part. It's just
Like,
because
it's
that might
so-
be because the thing is, a lot of people are suspecting that's a Pokemon. And given the way it is, I actually wouldn't be surprised because it's a fully detailed model. Like it's not like a shape that just happens. It's a fully detailed model related to this, and everybody's like, "That's got to be a Pokemon."
It has to be.
Like, have you seen the fully detailed model?
I don't think I've seen it actually.
Go look up what because somebody's got a still frame, and it looks like a fucking Pokemon, and it's just like, who is it, Nintendo? What the fuck is it? Don't
Or it
teach
just
us.
never gets recognized like for the longest time, and like gets to like this like I don't know, you skip another main game and you get to the next main game and it goes, and that Pokemon's finally recognized as a Pokemon, and you're like, what? Why?
What?
What? But another
Okay.
announcement from this also for Pokemon is the fucking teacup Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
The Poltegeist.
Yeah, Poltegeist.
I saw its name. I saw its design. I was like, that's cute. That's an adorable design. And
Yeah,
then I saw its name, and I was like, I'm done. I refuse.
It's like a Fakeamon. It's like a Fakeamon.
It
Like,
is
it
like
kinda-
a Fakeamon, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Back in 2014, someone said that.
I know. So
I
on
saw
like
the green
4chan.
text. I was like, what the fuck?
someone on 4chan totally predicted it. And I'm like, that no. I mean, I think when you have infinite monkeys with infinite typewriters typing out infinite names for Pokemon, you're gonna get, the same thing's bound to happen. But I'm like, come on. It feels like something more creative is bound to be said about this Pokemon, but I guess not. All I know is that I'm gonna capture one and call it Mr. T.
Yes. You better.
It's exactly what's gonna happen. I'll be like, I'll get it, and your name's forever Mr. T, and we're gonna have an adventure together. Okay.
I'm honestly debating about actually picking up a copy of Pokemon and then just like rubbing it in people's faces.
Again, I'm still cheese about stupid no nat decks in there, but I'm actually
a little mad about. I'm actually more mad about that than I should be. I'm gonna give the game a try. I'm probably gonna pick it up when it releases, even though I probably shouldn't. I should probably like boycott for fucking Nintendo. But
I'm
just gonna boycott Nintendo because they don't give me the things I want, even though
it's just with the comments they said about why they don't have a nat dex. It's just such a not good comment to the point of like, I can point towards any other video game that does the same thing and it does it way better than what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, again, this is why people are pissed off. It's like, you guys have been like, kind of feel like you're slacking off the hardest out of anyone. Just simply because like everyone just fucking, you're like the guys who did it first and it was, good at somehow.
Yeah. Well, like the thing I don't like about it is that like, okay, the thing is that like I don't care because it's still Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people are going to care because it's Pokemon. You are like a super fan, Josh.
Yeah.
And you're somebody who's going to be like, yes, I care because it's important to me that all the Pokemon are in one place. And I agree. The thing I don't agree with is I think that Game Freak is developing another game at the same time.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's just weird.
So I got two opinions on this. I think that a lot of the people who are sitting there and acting like as if whatever is like going on, I think a lot of the people who are acting like this is such a big deal don't really get that like it's not a limitation on the hardware, it's a limitation on like what Nintendo is doing, and they don't want to take the time.
Yeah, it's the company's being lazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's just more of like, well, company being lazy. That's why we're pissed off because they're being lazy.
Yeah.
In fact, like what was it? Digimon Cyber Sleuth. That's way more time and effort. Way more, bullshit they have to deal with, and that actually has way better animations, I think.
I don't know. Like, I like the idea. I feel like Nintendo their Game Freak is just kind of making that their cash cow now. But I do hope that that this is their last game. That they do the no national codex or Pokedex, sorry. And from there, they just start making the national decks just standard for the games. So I think that would be much better.
I hope that a national dex would be like from like, afterwards would be the standard, and that would be great. But man, I really hate how I went through the time and effort to have a national living Pokedex, and the whole entire company just decide to just toss it through the fucking garbage. I'm like, I put through the time and effort to get them all. What the hell?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fuck. This is like you grinded your life away on a fucking MMO, and then the company just says, oh, we're making, another campaign and stuff, and all your old equipment just don't work. Yeah. Weird how that happens. It just doesn't work. So just grind out for more weapons or whatever. And it's like, No, that's not how this fucking works.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
And also how that whole system, how you're supposed to trade the Pokemon upward, and you can't trade it. Like, basically, whenever you trade Pokemon upward through generations, you can never trade them back, and that makes sense. But for some dumb reason, through what was it, Pokemon Home? The other new way to store your Pokemon or some shit. You can't, once you put them in home, you can't take them out of home, despite there being no reason why you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going the fuck on? Like, I wish there's more communication here, or at least them having like a, I don't know, a thought process or anything. Like, it's so fucking backwards.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the thing is that you, like, everything about, like, this entire situation is, like, the question is, does the person buying the game really care? And at the end of the day...
that 12-year-old? Hell no.
No. And so, like, either way, the game's going to be successful. And either way, this might be the thing where you might get the Game Freak devs coming back, being more refreshed than ever on this new game. But that being said, I honestly think that, like, what you're doing is you're exaggerating a little bit, like, about, like, your personal feelings. I think that you're going, like, this is a big deal, this is the end of the world and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care about having full national decks. I know you do.
Yeah.
And I respect you for it because you put time into that. I know that a lot of people feel as if that is their, like, goal is getting that national deck completed and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing in the world. The game I'm more excited out of the two of them, though, is Town.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that game looks good. And...
is that the... Town is the Animal Crossing one, isn't it? Or am I thinking... yeah, okay. One of the cell phone.
Like Animal Crossing, yeah.
Because I saw a little bit of the trailer for that, and I'm like, oh, it actually looks like they're maybe shaping it up a little bit better than has been for the last couple of, like, years. Of, like, I hope they figure out, like, how many items you can sort and what way you can stack, because it was really confusing that you'd be like, okay, these items can stack, but these apples can't. Okay, what about these items? Can they stack? No, it doesn't stack, but it doesn't make any sense. So you're like, the fuck? It just makes it more cluttered. Yeah, it's just weird. It's like, okay, if I can stack these items, but not these items, then what the hell are we doing? Like, it should be a little more universal system going on there. Slurpee's delicious.
Yeah, Slurpees are delicious.
Oh, and actually, that reminds me of, since I'm looking at the stupid 7-Eleven and it's telling me about this app, the Pokemon app. It's telling, I was going on to Therapy, the website for anything Pokemon news related. I was going through that website, and they're like, "Hey, you can download this new Pokemon, or not new Pokemon, but like shiny legendary Pokemon for Sun and Moon, like next month or this month or something." And it's like you have to get that through the app and go to GameStop where they have the QR code you can scan.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, right. So I'm like, oh, let me download the app. So I go through the fucking Google Play Store, and apparently the Google Play Store says, hey, this app, even though it's completely every other app on the store does the same thing as this app, but all it does is give you Pokemon. Yeah, you can't download it. Why can't I download it? Because your phone's too old. Fuck off.
How old is your phone?
It's a 7.
That's 3 generations old. That's actually 4 generations old.
But it still works functionally just as good as the new ones.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Josh,
off.
Actually, it does make a big difference because it's the way that the data is set up.
God, I still feel like I'm
trust me,
cheated.
it's absolutely fucking bullshit. But at the same
It's
time, I'm
fucking bullshit. I'm like, what?
my phone
Like-
is. I think my phone is maybe a year old. No, it's 2 years old. And I think my phone might be too old for that thing too.
That's so
I
fucking
think mine's
stupid.
a 9.
I can't believe how I'm just hard locked from all these fucking like, yeah, you know how we usually just give out codes to people? Yeah, fuck that. Let's go through this app and that you need a fucking brand new phone for.
Well,
no.
Your contract should be coming up.
I am on Kudo, so I get a tab and I can get a brand new phone whenever I want. It's just that, like, I'm poor. I'm poor as shit. So that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Time for a new job, in other words. That's like,
yeah, exactly.
there's going to be a position that's going to be opening up in my concrete company soon.
I'm not doing concrete.
But $20 an hour.
So not doing concrete.
$20 an hour, and after your first 4 months, you get a pay raise of $1, up to $21 an hour.
I don't want to do concrete.
Your average paycheck will be about $15,000 a week.
Yeah.
The moment you hear that, it's so tempting. I have a legit, like, it's the reason why I don't tell people to do it's the reason why I tell people to do concrete or any kind of like construction work that's seasonal like this, because of the way they do the work.
Oh yeah.
But it's mostly because it's hard on you because you don't have really a social life during the season. But at the same time, the pay and the work is hard. The pay is great. I gotta fuck. My laptop needs to do a Windows 10 update.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right. Because I've had Windows 10 for like 3 years.
Windows 10 phone?
No, Windows 10, like my laptop. I've had Windows 10 on my laptop for about 5 years now.
I was gonna say, it's like, how is that Windows phone how's that Windows phone doing for you?
Apparently, the Windows phones aren't that bad.
No, they're not. A Windows phone is fine with like the average, like most average phones. They don't need the best of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people assume they do. So that way, then they end up like. That's the reason why, like, now you have manufacturers go like, I need a 5G cell phone with 4G things. I need something that's amazing and stuff like that. And it's like, it's like really at the end of the day, all you need is like, if you get a Note, you're good for like 3 years until the battery dies. If you get an iPhone, you're usually good for about 2 years, and then the battery dies. Yeah, it's kind of like difficult and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, is that a show?
Yep, that's a show.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Thank you for listening to the Black Mind Podcast. We post these shows every 2 Thursday on the Black Mind Games at popbean.com. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, where we get copyright struck every week. Because
from weird people that don't own the content in the first place.
From weird people who probably rip the content. We don't know.
Or just trolls that just do it because they don't get in trouble at all.
Well, it's weird. It pops up content ID, and it's like, So we've been posting for about a year. We talked about Jessica and Eve once, and then this started happening. Coincidence? I think so. Thanks for listening to the Black Mind Games Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or your favorite podcasting app. Thanks for listening and have a good night.
Good night.
So Super Meat Boy Forever is going to be an Epic Game exclusive, so I'm not buying Super Meat Boy Forever yet. But apparently it's a total no-brainer, so yeah, you should not.
Super Meat Boy and Epic Store? What?
Yeah, Super Meat Boy is going to be on Epic Store.
I mean, it was released on everything else first, so whatever.
I mean, this is the new one.
Super Meat Boy Forever?
Yeah.
Oh, that phone game? Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Oh, it's a phone game?
Yeah, it's a phone game.
Oh.
That's why it's that's why it's like, yeah, it's whatever.
Oh, I also learned that I'm really good with Ganondorf in Smash.
Oh, are you?
I'm okay with him. I'm not the best.
I have
But I was
like I want to play Ultimate just to see how good I am with every other character, because I mean it keeps getting updated over and over.
right.
But right now it's like I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna be like, give me the heavy duty characters I could just hit once and kill a person.
I just want to finish Smash Bros.
Or
So then I can be like done.
Mm.
I just want to finish it so that way then I can be like, I have it always installed for reasons that are obvious, like how I'm gonna probably have Overwatch installed. And yeah, did you hear about that bullshit, man?
of what?
Overwatch is coming out on PC on Switch.
Yeah, I heard that. Or the whole Nintendo Direct thing. Yeah, it's like pretty good for the Switch, really.
Was Terry's gonna be on Smash Bros?
Yeah, like although I do like how Terry's. What was the first announcement? It was the Terry and Smash Bros, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was Terry and Smash Bros. Well, that's not. I'm saying for the whole. I'm saying the Sans costume that was second.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was Terry first and then it was Sans.
Yeah, so I'm happy that they
And
did it that way, because he would have been. I think Terry would have been overshadowed by a costume.
Let me explain to you how little I fucking care about the fucking costume.
But I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's just a costume, whatever. I'm happy that Sans got in, but at the same time, people are arguing if this counts or not, and I'm like, it
Doesn't.
does. And
No, it doesn't.
no, it does.
It's Mii Fighter. It's just Mii Fighter.
Yeah, I agree. It's a Mii Fighter, but it got recognized in any degree other than a fucking statue in the game. Like that counts. That fucking counts.
I don't think it does because it's just a costume. He doesn't have a unique moveset.
Like, I'm not even sure what else you would even like. If you do think about a unique moveset, I don't know what else you do other than gun bullshit. And there's a lot of gun bullshit already.
Like, that's the thing, right? Is like,
yeah. So it's like him as a costume. Like, I'm like, whatever, it counts at this point. Because it's like, I'm surprised he even got in as like a decent anything.
But it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Like, it really, like, here's the question I have is, does me making, like, if our character got in Smash Bros. As a costume, would that count?
I would count it.
Like, if we made a character and it got in Smash Bros., would you count it? I would say no, it's not counting. I would just say, like, oh, we got a costume in Smash Bros. This is the first step.
I just think for, like, an indie dev to have something, like, again, popular as Sans, just to get, like, bigger ups than freaking Shovel Knight. Like, I'm putting it in, like, if it was yeah, character, you want a character in the game that's actually a fighter. But it's like, let's say you're just some fucking indie piece of shit and you don't know how, like, you don't know how to freaking get there. It's like, just being in a costume is freaking good enough.
Well, like, If that's your argument of like it being a costume is good enough, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to disagree with you on the grounds of it's just a costume. It's just a costume for me fighter.
I think I'm still on the. I think a lot of people agree with like, you know what? I think the Sans in Smash argument is over because it's like he's. I would count that because like that's the only way he's ever going to get in.
Right? Like that's the thing, right? Is like everyone's sitting there acting like it's a big deal, and it kind of is, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it really isn't like that massive thing that everyone expected it to be.
You haven't seen like any of the streams of people freaking the fuck out just over a costume.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Is like I think Terry's the bigger news.
Like, oh yeah, I agree with you. With like
And
Terry is way bigger, but this, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm surprised Sand even got in. Like as like anything better than a goddamn statue.
I would. Okay, we're syncing as soon as you. Yeah, Mister.
I'm ready.
Keep
Sync.
Jeff up. Okay, sync in 3, 2, 1.